Larisa.
And I'm Jill.
We're from the home decor and DIY blog, timeonourhands.com. And today we're going to make some super simple but really elegant earrings.
Yeah, I've never made earrings or any jewelry before, so I cannot wait. I'm really excited. Larissa's already given me a couple pointers, but we'll include all that in this video too.
So for this project, you're going to need a few things. Starting with some wire, you're going to need some 20 gauge round wire. This is 14 karat gold filled. It's actually quite affordable. You can get this at Fire Mountain Gems in 5-foot increments. But for this project, you need about 7 inches total, 7 to 10, depending on how long you want your ear wires. To wrap our stones with, we have some 26 gauge wire, also round. This is also gold filled. Next, you'll need some beads, some briolette beads. So these are like teardrop shaped beads that have a hole drilled through the top. So you don't want a bead that is drilled through the middle, but you want one that is teardrop shaped. Next, you're going to need something round. So something like a little pill bottle, or if you have a mandrel like this, you can also use a bottle. You just want something that is uniform.
Sorry, I'm laughing because she has teeth in that.
I have my cat's teeth in here. I have no idea why, but it's my lucky cat tooth earring maker. So anything that's the same width all the way down will work. And you actually don't even necessarily need this. So as far as tools, you don't need too many specialized tools. If you have a mini plier set, that will work really well. It should include some wire snips. And the only thing you absolutely need is round nose pliers. It is helpful to have some flat nose pliers as well, but if you don't, you can make it work. Another optional thing is a jewelry hammer and a metal block. This is just if you're working with very soft wire, you can hammer it and it will hold its shape better. But again, it's not absolutely necessary. And you can really use any kind of wire. You can use craft wire, you can use copper wire, sterling silver filled. There's lots of options, so if you ever have any questions, just drop a question below and I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
All right, so what Larisa taught me is that I just go ahead and use a ruler and I just straighten the wire out a little bit. And then I just measure where I want to cut, which is, I'm going to do approximately 3.5 inches. And then these are the wire cutters. And I just go ahead and cut the wire. And then we need 2 of them because we're making 2 earrings. All right, and then the thinner, and that's the thicker wire.
So that's the 20 gauge.
And then this is the thinner wire, which is 26, you said? Okay, and how much of this did you say I needed?
Probably about 3 inches.
Okay, for each piece?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing, measure and cut.
So the next step is to take the thicker wire, that's the 20 gauge wire. The bigger the number, the smaller the wire. So we're going to take the wire and we're going to take a pair of pliers. So if you just have the round nose pliers, that's fine. And find the middle of the wire. You can measure it or you can eyeball it. And then you're just going to use your finger to make a fold in that wire so you have basically a little triangle.
I'm gonna try to just use my fingers and see what it does.
Okay. Jill's being experimental.
I don't know. I think that did okay. That's basically what we were trying to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of up to you what shape you want. I like to have a little bit of a rounded shape to the wire, so I'm gonna use this little pill bottle my cat's teeth in it, and I'm just going to very gently form it around it, so it's just a little bit rounded shape.
It almost looks like the shape of like a leaf or something,
right?
Or a petal even.
Exactly, that's exactly. It looks like a leaf shape. both at the same time. So I'm going to take my second wire and do the same thing. So again, you just sort of make a fold. And then use your round thing and just very gently. And you don't have to do this. If you want them to be more straight, that's fine too. And you'll see the wires pretty easily manipulated. So, and then you just want to kind of look at both of your wires and make sure they look about the same. So while Jill's finishing up hers, I'm going to form a loop on one of the ends of this wire. And that loop we're going to hang our gemstone from. So what I like to do is kind of tilt my hand back, position the round nose pliers at the very end of the wire, and then you just kind of move it toward you until you have a loop. And it's just a very simple loop. Okay, so now we have our 2 wires with loops. And if you have a metal block, particularly if you're using soft wire, dead soft wire, just very lightly hammer it. This will just help it hold its shape better. And it will also get out any kinks, which mine do have a few. So you don't have to do that. It's not absolutely necessary. And Jill was just asking, if you mess up, you can keep reworking it to a certain extent, but it will get harder. The more you work with a wire, it'll get harder. And some kinks will be hard to get out, so try not to do it too much. All right, so now we're ready to wrap our stones. So you can really use different size stones. Again, make sure they're called briolettes. Teardrop shaped ones that are top drilled. But you can use smaller ones, you can use larger ones. I'm going to use these, I think these are lace agate. But I also have some quartz, some chalcedony. So they can be, anywhere from probably 6 millimeters to 10 millimeters and more. So in order to do that, take your 26 gauge wire, so that's the skinny wire, and you're just going to thread it through the top of your bead. And then you should have about an inch on the left and more than that on the right. And then you're going to just fold it upward, fold the wire up so it meets above the bead into an X shape. And then you're just going to twist it with your fingers so the 2 wires are twisted together just about 2 times. And then before you go any further, cut the shorter end of the wire as closely as you can to the main wire without cutting the main wire. And then once you do that, so at this point you'll have the bead on a wire and just the wires sticking straight up. And then we're going to do a closed loop with this wire. So with your round pliers, your round nose pliers, you're going to grip above where you've looped it and just tilt it to the right, and then with your finger you're going to wrap the wire around the top wire and then scooch it with your finger. You're basically just following the shape of the round nose pliers to create a loop. And then once you have that loop, put it back on the wire, get a good grip, and then you're just going to wrap it around the wire. And we're almost done, if you can believe it. These are the easiest earrings ever. And then you're going to snip the wire as closely as you can to the main stem. And and you're probably not going to get it close enough. So with either your round nose pliers or other pliers, just tuck that little pokey part of the wire and press it against like the main stem. And then just make sure your loop is facing the same way as the stone. All right, Jill's finishing up her second briolette, wrapped briolette, and then I'm going to show you how to put this on the ear wire. So basically, you can take your round nose pliers, or if you have flat nose pliers, and take your ear wire, so the thicker one that's formed into like the leaf shape, and you're going to put your pliers right on the loop and just move it outward. So don't unwrap the loop, just move it outward, and you're gonna slip your earring on there, and then you're just gonna close it back up. And you can tighten it at that point too if your loop's kind of coming apart. Just tighten it up. And that is really it. At this point you can adjust it so to make sure that the gemstone is facing forward, just adjust the wire. And you can also trim your ear wire here if it's too long in the back. You can take a little bit off of that. But here you have it. Aren't they pretty? And wasn't that the easiest project you've ever done in your life?
I have never made jewelry or earrings before, and I just made these with the assistance, well, no, I made them, but just with Larissa's instructions, which you're gonna get with this video as well. Cool.
All right, and now we have matching earrings, so we are twins, we're twinning. If you liked this video, if you did, be sure to subscribe to our channel or give us a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them.
See you next time.